Hello beautiful people, you are welcome back again to my channel. Happy new month to you all. So this is the final part of this tutorial. As you can see, it's all given. I already have a tutorial for the sleeve already on this channel, and the pattern drafting too, I have it already on this channel, so you can check my last video for that. So it's now time to use the pattern paper to cut out the linings and the fabric. In total, we have 7 pieces for the pattern papers. So it's good you label them so you don't confuse them. If you look closely, you will see that I added extra half an inch to the original measurement of the pattern paper. So this will be for joining. If you don't do this, your dress or your blouse could become smaller. But if you had already added the half an inch to your cutting, I mean the pattern paper, then it's fine. But in most cases, this is how it's being done. When you are transferring it on your fabric, you need to add this so that when you join it, it will be nice. Okay, so I just cut out all the linings, as you can see, and this is more like the sweetest part of this tutorial, because you already did the major work while drafting the pattern. So this is just to cut out on the fabric and on the lining. Here I was cutting out the fabric, so basically the same thing you did for the lining is what you will do for the fabric. There is no difference, just exactly the measurement for the lining is what you will do. So this is the back part, and you can see the zipper allowance. And when doing that, also take note of your zip bulge. You need to eliminate that. I think I have that tutorial on this channel, how to eliminate zip bulge. So after all the cuttings, it is now time to start attaching our hairstay, breast pads to the fabric and the lining. So the essence of this is to make it stable. Here I made use of hairstay. Hairstay is more like the soft form of gum stay. Yeah, because we have different thickness. So when I was done attaching the hairstay, I introduced my breast pad. So that's the breast part there. I'll just cut it to fit with the size of the hairstay. So this part too is pretty easy. From your neckline, you come down by 2 inches up to your under bust. So try not to exceed the under bust when marking out the length, or the width rather, for the um breast part. Hope you get that. So this is for the 2 sides for the front panel. I'm just creating that shape on those side, like your bust shape. Yeah, so I just did that, and then that's it. I'll cut out 2 pieces. So it's best you like fold it into 2 so that you get the same shape. So that's all for the breast part. So it's now time to start joining all those pieces, those many pieces. It's time to join them. For the lining, I didn't put breast part because obviously you don't need it. Hairstay was just enough for the lining. Kindly take note of how I am joining these pieces. You can see that I am joining it from the under. Okay, for the other side, there's a trick to it. It may not really work like this, so you would I think start from under, then later start from the top to join it. I don't know which part, but it may not just work exactly like this for the 2 sides, because I experienced that. If you have been sewing bustier, you will understand what I'm talking about. For one side, you can just sew from the top to the from the bottom to the top, but for the other side, there's a way you manipulate it so that it is equal. So guys, this is how this looks. I am just trimming out the excess fabric, and I'm also notching so that it is relaxed. So that's it, guys. Exactly what I did on that lining, I'll be doing the same for the fabric. If you watch closely, guys, you will see paper. I placed paper on the part where I stitched because of the padding. It was kind of slippery. So this is what you do when it looks as if it's dragging or it's pulling or expanding. I mean your breast pad. So just try this method. Place a paper along where you will be stitching, and that will solve everything. Okay, so just exactly what I did for the lining is what I am doing. Then like that I would stitch. But again, if you want it to be very easy for you, just like I did, I first of all stitched the breast pad on the fabric before joining everything, so that way everything will stay in place. But some persons go ahead to sew it straight, but I just first of all stitched it down so that I would not bother so much trying to put everything together while joining the two sides to the center front. Hope you understand. Just watch, you will understand what I did here. So when I stitched separately first, I then stitched everything together. There was something I did here. I put a mug. I put a mug under this breast part so I could iron it well, because I didn't have what to put under that will help you to iron those parts. If you don't iron it well, it may look squished in that area, especially that bust part area. So I just put a mug so that I'll be able to, iron it properly. So I think this is the back piece, if I'm not mistaken. This is the back piece. So just follow the same joining process. The back piece is easier because you don't have all this breast pad and all those things. You don't have it there. So just join and join. And again, don't forget the zip bulge. Very important. You will not want to sew a dress or a blouse that is bulgy behind. It doesn't make your outfit look good. For the neckline, I attached my gum stay there because I want that neck part to be firm. You sometimes when some people wear blouse or dresses, you see the neck area like sagging. Exactly, that's the right word, sagging. But with the gum stay placed on the fabric neckline and the lining neckline, then you are good to go. Or you may just put the gum stay on only the lining neckline. You understand? Now to get this, you place the two right side together. That is the right side of the lining and the right side of the fabric. You stitch all around, then you turn to the right side. And for the neckline, you need to notch it before flipping it to the other side so that it will be relaxed. And when you've done all those, okay, you start giving it a good press, just as you can see. You want to do something that is presentable, right? So I gave everything a good press, both for the front piece and the back piece. So the top part of this blouse is kind of ready, except for the, what they call it, the sleeves and maybe the zipper, but it's actually kind of ready. This is the lower part of the dress, more like the skirt part. I didn't do pattern drafting for the skirt part. I just went ahead to do it straight. But on this channel, I have a pattern drafting tutorial on how to make a basic skirt, and I have different skirt tutorials too, so you can kindly check them out. Okay, it's just straightforward. But for this particular skirt, I didn't put that on the front panel because I didn't feel like, though you can go ahead to put that. So how do you put that? After folding your fabric into two, let's say I'm working on the front piece, you mark out you mark about 4 inches from the folded point, then you mark 4.5, then you mark 5. So the 4.5 is like the middle, then between 4 and 5 is 1 inch. Then you come down by say 6 or 7, depending on how the length of the skirt is from the upper part of your body. Yeah, this is more like a long skirt from my stomach area. It's not like on the waist, so that will also determine the length of your dart. Hope this makes sense. But if you don't understand it, you can just check my channel. It's easy. Then after getting the darts, to attach your lining should be 2 inches or 1.5 inches shorter than the length of your fabric. Please, very important, because if you cut exactly the length of your fabric for your lining, when you turn to the right side, your lining will be showing and that will not be nice. So your lining should be shorter than your fabric length. Say for example, the length of the skirt is 32, then your lining should be 30. Okay, so when you're also doing your dart, it is best you also transfer the dart to your lining, or some people do it straight, like they do both the fabric and the lining together. They will join it and they will put their lining, but I wasn't taught that way. I wasn't taught that way, but you still get the same result though. So after, doing the front piece, I went ahead to do the back piece. And the back piece has zipper. So you take note of the zipper and also introduce zip bulge. The reason why I introduced the zip bulge is because the lower part of this dress started from the back, like from my half length. I think that's the right word. For the half length, you still have a part of your back, the curvy part of your back on the half length. So I took my zip bulge out from the top part of this dress. I also took it out from the lower part of this dress. Hope that makes sense. Yeah, but if this skirt was starting from the waist, I wouldn't do that. Just the normal waist measurement will be fine. But I had to take care of the zip bulge. Then I also introduced my slits. I came up by 7 to 8 inches from the hem upward to introduce my slits, so that I'll be able to move my legs freely. It is now time to join the upper parts of the dress to the lower parts of the dress. Yes. So this is for I think this is the back piece. I can't really see it well. What you just do, you place the two right sides together, hold it with pins just as you can see, then you join it. That's it. Then if you have darts both on the up and the bottom part, you make sure the darts align so that one dart won't be here and the other one will be that way. If you look at the style closely, I put like a kind of stylish drape. Will I call it drape now? Just to add a little, touch. So I added this drape. I made use of my organza, but I think using what they call it net is better. So you can see what I did there. I just pleated it and then gave it a good press, and that was it. So you can now determine how you want to position it on your dress. So this is me working on the front piece. I just placed the drape on it like that. Let me call it drape, permit me to call it a drape. So I just placed the pleats or the drape on it, then I stitched it onto the front piece. Make sure you spread it out well. Okay, that's it, guys. So when I was done putting the drape, this is the front piece and the back piece placed together, the two right sides facing each other. I just use my pins to hold the two sides, and I'm now transferring my actual measurements. There was allowance when I was taking my measurement, so it's now time to sew on the actual measurements. That is my actual measurements. I just marked everything, use my pattern rulers to make the curves in the necessary areas, and this is me just stitching from top to bottom, like from the armhole to the bottom. That's it. Then for the sleeve, I told you I have a detailed tutorial on that on this channel already, but for those that have not watched it, this is more like the summary, like an overview of what I did. I got my pattern paper, my basic sleeve, which I did a long time ago. I used it to cut out, the two parts of the sleeve, because the sleeve has the upper part and the lower part. The lower part is where the ruffles are. Then I just folded the organza this way, ironed it, and I began to, pleat. That is, before I started pleating, I stitched on it, then I pulled the thread. I created some like barriers, like intervals, where I put the nodes, and that's it. So when I got this, I just attached it to the upper part of the sleeve, and that gave me the sleeve. So guys, what do you think about this tutorial? Is it what you would love to try? You can see it is very giving, and again, I love the simplicity. Also take note of the back. You can see it's very flat. That's because the zip bulge has been eliminated. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I hope to see you all in my next video.